"2020 is one of the most important years for so many reasons, not only because the 2020 census is happening, not only because it's a really important election year, but there's a movement happening. And Native people are at the top of the conversation for the first time in my lifetime. We would be remiss if we did not stand up and rise to the occasion to make sure that Native people are visible and heard, because we have the right to not be mascots. We have the right to not be left out of curriculum. We have the right to not be left out of the voting process, left out of representation, because representation truly does matter to us.
What comes to mind for me in the importance of voting now is not just my world and what I'm experiencing as a Native woman. I'm thinking of generations down the line. I think to myself, like, voting is a way that we can impact further generations. We can continue our Indigenous lifeways. We just have to find a way to balance these worlds that we're walking in.
Are you hearing anything on the ground about why people would decide not to vote this year?
There is an opinion that I've heard that voting and everything to do with the democratic process is a colonized concept that we shouldn't buy into as Native people. And so that's been a conversation that's been bouncing around even on campus where I am. And so there are some Native youth that are totally adamantly opposed to voting, and others who, want to utilize voting as a way to, express ourselves and use our voice in a modern age.
We're actually present in some of the most important states that people pay attention to in the voting process. And so if there isn't any more power that needs to be told, Native people and Native votes truly do matter in the places where it matters most in the elections.
If representation in Congress was proportional to the US population of Natives, we would have 2 Native senators and 8 Native members of the House. And right now we have 0 Native senators and just 4 members of the House.
So what that means is that we have to meet the system where it is. And we also have to deconstruct it and then reconstruct it with our voices and our votes. We have to talk about what that looks like. So not only just getting registered to vote, but convincing our communities and our families and our friends that we should be active at the polls too.
Not just having our young people be encouraged to register and to vote, but also to get involved in leadership positions. We just need more of these young people to start thinking about becoming leaders of their community, leaders of their states, leaders of their nations. And we need to have more seats at the table. We need to have more of our voices heard.
Thank you, Connie, for your time today. Your perspective is invaluable.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was great visiting with you, and I really appreciated your time and having this conversation with you. It was wonderful.